Has someone checked on how Hideo Kojima's doing after that? So there you have it, folks. The 2025 Game of the Year awards are done, and Clair Obscur has won the most titles won by a singular game in a competition like this, and that is incredible. I think it fully deserves all the praise that it has gotten. What we're going to do now is we're going to run down all of the winners and just discuss this, and I'll share my thoughts. We can compare it to what I actually voted for. I hope you guys put your votes in as well. Without further ado, let's crack open a cold one and get right into it. So like I said, we're going to go through all the categories and just see where my predictions lined up and what my thoughts are on each one. So, of course, kicking it off first, we had a Game of the Year, and who didn't see this coming? It's obviously going to be Clair Obscur Expedition 33. If you voted for anything else, you were wasting a vote there. I mean, who am I to say if you wasted your vote or not, but it was kind of obvious it was going to be that. Very, very well deserved. And of course, I was right. Best Game Direction. Again, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, picking that up. Again, I don't know how close these were. That's the thing. They don't tell you how close the voting is on this, but it was really good to see this picking up. I didn't see it going any other way on this one. Of course, I'm going to say that. It was my vote. Narrative, once again, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm never going to get tired of saying that. I absolutely love that game. I think that it was a solid story experience. I think that if you haven't experienced that game, you really need to, just because it is very unique in what it does, and it tells a story in such an interesting way, and it's a really, really good one at that as well. Art direction. Now, this one is different because I did vote for Ghost of Yotei because I did think it beat Clair Obscur when it came to the art direction, but also just because I felt the art direction in Ghost of Yotei was a little bit more defined. I didn't really think that it could compare to the one in Clair Obscur. As good as Clair Obscur is visually, I mean, have you seen Ghost of Yotei? Like, that game is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This one, I'm happy with either. I would have liked Ghost of Yotei to win, so I could say I was right, obviously. But Clair Obscur picking up that W, it's never going to be a bad thing in my eyes. I'm just happy to see that Death Stranding has won nothing. Not because I dislike Hideo Kojima games. I absolutely love Metal Gear Solid games. Just hate FedEx Simulator. Best score and music goes to the SoundCloud rapper Lorien Testard, because why wouldn't it go to the guy who made the soundtrack for one of the greatest game of this year, one of the greatest games of the last 10 years, if not the greatest game of the last 10 years, in my opinion. The music in this game is incredible. The story about how he was found on SoundCloud and the French music forum is just insane. This game shouldn't exist. It's crazy that he's picked this up, and it is so well deserved. Audio design, again, what can I say? I'm good, all right? I'm good at what I can predict here. If you haven't played Battlefield 6, headphones cranked up, War Tapes VAR mix turned on for the audio, you are missing out. Generally, like, it feels scary when you're playing that because the amount of war that is happening around you is intense. It was just obscene. And I am absolutely over the moon that they won that. Don't get me wrong, the audio in like Clair Obscur and Ghost of Yotei is really good, but when you put that mix on, you cannot tell me that the audio design itself is not incredible. Mael, Jennifer English. Basically, the pattern so far has been if you put Jennifer English in a game, you're going to win Game of the Year for that year because she was in Baldur's Gate 3 and it won last time. And then this time, she's in Clair Obscur and they won this time. So whatever game Jennifer English ends up being in next year, money on that winning Game of the Year. All right, I'm calling it now. It's going to be Game of the Year, whatever game she is in. The best thing about this reaction was how the other actors reacted to it. So Ben Starr going absolutely ballistic for Jennifer, Erika Ishii as well. Both of them were just, and Charlie Cox, basically they were all super over the moon that she won, and it was really nice to see that camaraderie as well in the whole sort of voice actor scene, especially because all these sort of AI related things that are coming in now. I really hope that the performances that these people have put in are being recognized as being essential for why a game is good. So yeah, well done for Jennifer for winning that one. As if she's going to see this video, but hey, if she does, then, you know, congratulations. Innovation, accessibility. This is a tough one to vote for, as I remember saying. Bit of a weird one because I don't really have to deal with the accessibility needs that some players do. For me personally, as long as you can put things like subtitles on, I'm fine. I do have to have subtitles on for everything. I just can't focus on it otherwise. Sometimes I do change the colors a little bit, like in Battlefield 6, I've changed a lot of the colors to make them visually stand out, but that's more just a preference thing as opposed to accessibility needs. But yeah, Doom did a lot for it. I didn't experience it. I know South of Midnight had a lot as well. That's why it got my vote, but either way, good win. I'm just glad that FIFA didn't pick up a win. Games for Impact. South of Midnight, it was the only one I'd seen on this list before. Like, I hadn't played any of the games, so I couldn't really vote for it, but I am really glad that they won this one. Best ongoing game. It's just because I have beef with No Man's Sky. That is it. It's the only reason why. And I don't know if I need to drop that beef. I think I do. Because they keep on winning this. Essentially, if they push a patch out next year, they'll qualify for this title. And then they could win it again. They just keep on winning. I didn't want to vote for Fortnite, but I hadn't played anything else. So it was kind of a tough one in that respect. I don't really understand how Baldur's Gate won this, but again, I'm not a big Baldur's Gate fan. I've got 3 to play, but I haven't played it enough, and I wasn't like part of the hype when it was coming out. So what they do, I don't really know. I just knew that there was a massive community around Helldivers 2. That's why I got my vote. But you know, it's good to see Larian getting their flowers with this one still, which is really good. Like a year on from the actual game, like winning Game of the Year. Quick note, whilst I'm editing this up, I do realise that it wasn't last year that Baldur's Gate 3 won. It was the year prior to that. So sorry for my mistake there. Still up there for nominations for other stuff, which is really good to see. Best indie game. Nah, this one caused some controversy, didn't it? Oh, Clair Obscur is not an indie developer. They've got loads of millions behind them. It was a 34-man team. It was a team of people who then picked up a publisher who was, from what I understand, a bunch of indie devs that came together for it. There's a lot you could say about that. I mean, Supergiant aren't exactly a quote-unquote indie team, I guess, in the same time either. But yeah, like, it was the first award that well, that wasn't the first award they announced. The first award was a different one, but this is one of the first ones I saw because the award show was on at an ungodly hour of midnight and didn't really kick off until 1 a.m. and your boy was tired. I remember falling asleep and waking up in the middle of a trailer and I was confused as hell. But I was glad to see Clair Obscur winning that. Obviously, they may not win that next year because they may not be able to be in this category next year. If they do bring anything out, maybe Expedition 34, maybe whichever one was the oiled up muscular men. I'm not saying I have a preference or anything, but best debut indie game. I mean, if you were in the last category and it was your first game, you kind of were going to win both of these. So it was either going to be Blueprints winning both or Clair Obscur winning both. I'm really glad that Clair Obscur won both. Best mobile game, I have no idea about any of these. And I voted purely off of this picture, but I'm glad I won. Isn't it like a racing game or something where you race as these? I don't know. I really have no idea what this is, and I have no intention of finding out. Oh, cool. I only voted for that because of the art style, because I have no intention of playing these other ones. So I have got some VR content that I'm working on for my channel, but this is really good to see that these guys won this. So best action. I mean, of course, I was going to play for Battlefield 6 because I played that game. I'd only play 2 of these games. So yeah, Battlefield 6 is obviously a game that I played a lot of. Doom, I've completed. It wasn't going to be Doom because I wasn't a fan of that game. Hades, I can understand that winning. It's well deserved because it's a great game by Supergiant. It's just not something that I have played personally, so I couldn't really pass the vote for it. Best action adventure, again, hadn't played Hollow Knight Silksong. Not a massive fan of the original. Just not that I dislike it. It's just I'm not engrossed in it like a lot of other people were. So when Evan was like excited for Silksong, I was just joining in because it was part of the meme of where is Silksong, as opposed to like having an actual like wanting for it. For me, Ghost of Yotei is just incredible, and at the moment I'm tossing it between that and Metroid Prime 4. It's really hard to put either one of them down, so that was always going to win for me. But Team Cherry did good. Bit bad they didn't show up. They said they were busy. I get that. They did get a lot of flack online for not showing up, but if they are busy, then you can't blame them for not being there. There's a lot of people saying that they knew it was going to be like a fixed show, or like they knew how it was all going to pan out and stuff. And I don't think that's true. I'd like to think it's not true. I'd like to think that it was literally because they were busy. It would have been nice to see them there, but you can't really, if someone's schedule's full, then it's full. Did we expect anything else? I know a lot of people were saying that Kingdom Come Deliverance should have won this, and there was a lot of hubbub online. And I'm pretty certain I saw, I don't want to say it was definitely them, but I saw someone related to the game saying that they felt they were robbed which I think is a little bit low to be putting that on social media. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a JRPG, turn-based JRPG. It's cool. Like, you can't say that it's not. It's inspired by one of the greatest JRPGs of all time, and that is Lost Odyssey. So yeah, it's a role-playing game. Maybe not to the depth of what Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is, but it's still a role-playing game. It still deserves the praise that it was getting, and it still deserves to be in this category. And it still deserved the win, in my opinion, but that's based on what I've played. Fighting game, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves was everywhere this year. When you were watching WWE events, it was on like the ring mat and stuff like that. So it was either going to be that one or Mortal Kombat, I feel. I was only voting for Capcom Collection because I've played games on there, but yeah, Fatal Fury winning that is pretty cool. I'm not a big SNK fighting game fan. I always preferred the Capcom side. So family game, this struck me as weird. I didn't think DK Bonanza was going to win that. I did think it was going to be Mario Kart winning that, but either way, it's Nintendo property winning it. We did see Doug Bowser come and pick it up as well. I think it was the first one that was announced as well. It was the very first thing that happened in the pre-show. I think it's part of the show. Like, it was half past when it was kicking off, so it was really weird that they have like a pre-show than the actual show, but the pre-show is filmed in the same location as the show, just not on the main stage. Like, a bit strange, but still. Best sim strategy. I had no idea with these. The only reason I voted for Sid Meier is because it's Civ, and it's a strategy game. I didn't even know that Evil East Chronicles was already out. I thought it was still coming out. So that's weird that they won that one. But hey, you know, I see you Formula One with your Max Verstappen, and I raise your Waluigi. Arguably a better racer. It's Mr. Steal Your Friends winning best multiplayer game. It was going to win. It was always going to win. I wanted BF6 to win, but we all knew it was going to be our graders. That game has got multiplayer not even first, it's third person, multiplayer online shooting games in a vice script right now, and it is not letting go. It was inevitable, unfortunately. I had zero stake in this, and I'm pretty certain I picked a random number between 1 and 4. I do not care, and I will not care about best adaptation, but it's good to know I was right. Most anticipated game. Personal preference, my most anticipated game is Witcher 4. The obvious answer was going to be GTA 6. No one cared about First Light. No one was super hyped for Wolverine, and Requiem is close, I reckon, but I mean, don't get me wrong, we're excited for Wolverine, but just not to the level that would beat Witcher 4 or GTA 6 in my eyes. But will we even get GTA 6 is the question. Glad Charlie won that. He deserved it. He did really well. Does really well with a lot of the content he puts out on a regular basis. Big fan of everything he does. I know he didn't really want to win it, which is even funnier. But yeah, I'm really glad he won it. CS2 was the only one on here that I would respect voting for. I mean, Dota 2 is alright, but MOBAs just don't sit right with me after what League did to my life. So yeah, CS2 winning that was kind of inevitable. They kind of just sort of did the esports awards like back to back to back, because like, I don't know why they put zero hype behind it, and it was all just kind of like out of the way type of thing. I don't know why they have them there if they're not going to shine a light on these people properly. I've no idea who this fella who won is, but he's a League player, so immediately a no in my eyes. And then esports team was CS2. I'm glad. I voted for that because of the game, so I'm glad that I was right. Player's voice, I had no idea what. I missed the vote for this, I remember. I didn't turn up in time for it because they were closing them. I heard that Wuthering Waves did a really weird thing where they were giving away stuff in-game for people who won. So, yeah, that's not cool. But, Clair Obscur should have won, but it should have won everything in my eyes. So there you have it, folks. That was the Game of the Year awards and everything associated with it. Overall, I'm pretty stoked on what won. I'm pretty happy with it all. I was going to do a bit on this video where I talk about all the announcements and stuff, but I'm going to say that for another one because I want to be able to give the games that I want to talk about a bit more sort of time. I think it wouldn't be fair for me to do it all in this one video. So we'll do a video now on these results, and then the next video that we do is going to be talking about some of the actual games that were announced there, because there were some really interesting ones that came about and some really weird ones as well. Let me know down below exactly what your highlights were and if you think that Clair Obscur deserved all of the wins that it got. Fun fact, it did. I really hope this is a lesson for all of the game developers out there that For the last, 3 years now, the Game of the Year hasn't been one of these humongous games. It's been made by smaller studios, games which people didn't really think had a chance of winning it, and they've all come out on top. I mean, this year everyone kind of knew that Clair Obscur was going to win, but at the same time, it shouldn't have. If you look at the story behind it, that game shouldn't exist, and it's great that it does. I really hope this is a turning point for the industry, and I really hope that developers start to realize that gamers actually care about the game itself and about the substance that it has. Big names don't really have the same weight that they used to have if the games are trash. I'm not saying that the games that didn't win are trash, I'm just saying that it's nice to see some of these out of nowhere games picking up awards. I'm really excited for the future of what gaming has. I just really hope that other studios can kind of pull their finger out now.